Primal lights, prepared for this duality world, wearing this body in this avatar as Auset. I want to thank you for joining us on Inner Sanctuary, Stillness, and Self-Realization, 22 days of stillness. So, right now, I have here with me the I and I self, Shelly, this avatar. And Shelly is about to take the 22 days of stillness. She just had her sun cycle into this dream existence in this cycle. And so she just now has made the vow that she wants to go on this 22 day of stillness. So we're going to be documenting Shelly's journey so you can understand that it's not difficult to do. So join us every day from now, today the first day, for the next 22 days, so that we can document Shelly's journey so you can see that it's not difficult. The first thing that you want to do, you want to make a vow to yourself. The reason why you want to make a vow to yourself is because this duality mind that we are wearing, it will tell you, oh no, don't do that today, you don't have to do that. You know, it will give you all the excuses of why you're not supposed to do something. And you don't want to engage in it, because when you make a vow to yourself, you want to keep the vow. And the mind will hold the vow that you make. And this is why the vow to yourself is important. So we will say together, I vow to myself.
Daily stillness, meditation, and self-inquiry. I vow to myself to get the source of my existence, allowing me this world experience. I vow to myself to return this ego, mind that does not belong to me, back to its original source. I vow to myself to castrate this ego, false self, and return to be my real, true self. I no longer want to explore this dream world as the ego character. I return to my ultimate true self. I vow to myself to merge the spirit back into the I, real self soul. I vow to myself.
Right. And so at the end of this vow, you can write anything else that you choose to make a vow about. Right? Mm-hmm. So this is what this means right here, that you can also add another vow if there's something else here. Like you can say, I vow to myself that I'll only eat once a day, you know, and I'll eat some like watermelon, something with liquid, you know, coconut water. So you eat less, you know, you can vow to yourself those things and you keep the vow. I'm not saying not to eat, I'm saying you can eat less because it helps the body. Right? And so here we have an affirmation. Can you say that affirmation for me?
Yep. I am in command of the commandment command. Mind be still, be still, be still and know that I am in command. As I have commanded, so let it be. Dissolve this ego, false self-identity. I awake from the dream, I return to my ultimate true state.
Okay. And so this is an affirmation daily. You want to chant this daily. So when you get up, you say your vow so that you can remind the mind the mission that you're on, so that this mind will not get you distracted. Because believe me, this is the trickiest thing that you have, your mind. It will trick you out of the thing that you have vowed to yourself. So you have to be vigilant. And so this is the vow that we just said, and now we have a contract that you are signing with yourself, that you are going to sign it, that you are going to keep these 22 days, right? Mm-hmm. So can you read the contract here, please?
Self-inquiry, self-realization. I am taking these steps to my true self. I take the step to self-realization. Self-realization means exactly that. It's pretty transparent. I must self-realize. No one is to tell me or convince me of anything. I must self-realize. I vow to myself on this date, May 18th, 2023, to self-inquiry and self-realization, 22 to 30 days, vow of silence and stillness. I seek my self-truth from within. I self-called soul. I seek my supreme teacher from within. I self-called soul. I seek my supreme wisdom from within. I self-call soul. I seek my supreme intelligence from within. I self-call soul. I renounce everything I previously self-identified as myself. I renounce everything that was previously programmed into me until this moment. I free myself from all dogmas, beliefs, superstitions, gods, and deities. I seek only my truth from within. I call on my true self, my self-supreme, self within. I call on my supreme wisdom within. I call on my supreme intelligence within. I call on my supreme truth within. I call on my supreme teacher within. I vow to myself to complete this self-inquiry and self-realization 22 to 30 days, vow of silence and stillness.
Right? And then you just sign your contract, to yourself. You are not doing this to anyone. You have to give up all dogmas, religion, all identity that you identify yourself as, because you do not know who you are. This is the reason why. Why self-inquiry? Because self-inquiry allows the teacher within, the I self that is called the soul, to rise up. You are looking outside of yourself when you were supposed to be looking within the soul. The teacher rises from the soul. This is why you need the soul in the body. So God cannot have your soul. You cannot give your soul to God, because then how are you going to have access to it? God have access to it using it for his light. You have to have your soul in the body with you. It is you. It is you that is your real self. You are into the baby self that is sleeping. So this baby self has to make that decision. That's what this baby self is doing right now. Coming to awareness to find the real self, which is your soul self. You are the soul self, and this self must merge back into the soul. This is why self-inquiry is so vital. There is no other way to do this. Because when you ask a question, the self is going to rise up to answer you. If you don't ask, the self will not rise up to answer you. This is why self-inquiry is important. Self-realization, why is that important? Because you are in a false identification and you don't know yourself, right? So you have to realize. So going through this process, this is when you come to that realization that I am that I am. For everything that I am seeking, it is all within myself. For that which I seek, I am already that. So what are you seeking when it's right here with you? So this is the reason why you have to come into self-realization, because you are following a false identity and you don't know the truth of yourself. So when the self rises up within the I, the self will confirm with you and say, yes, I am you. Not that you need to serve me and give me your soul. No, I am you. So this is the difference. And so this is why self-realization is so important. So with that being said, I'm going to hand the book over to the I and I right here, Shelly. Because the first question that she's going to do is ask, who am I? Who am I? You have to ask. You don't know. You are the baby self that is sleeping. You have to ask. It is important that you ask the question, who am I? All right? And so also know that the book is available on Amazon, and click the link below so that you can also, get your copy of the book. So the whole steps is in the book of how to remove the ego, how to come into self-realization, and how to castrate this ego. All right, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you
for joining us. So thank you again. I'll see you in the next day 2.
Day 2.
All right.
Tomorrow.
So I bow to the I and I's in self, in light, and in truth. Hail, hail to the I self supreme. Primal light.
Victory!
Victory! Yes, hail, hail to the one true light. The light without beginning nor end. The light throughout the ages. The transparent light. I want to thank the I and I for joining us today.
Who am I? What am I made of?
Very good. Now it's time for Who Am I meditation. Shoulders up, back straight, nice and tall. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. I've got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll know. Got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who is the real me? Real self arise. Ego gotta go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. Who am I? Self-inquiry. I self-inquire within. I self-inquire to know my truth. Who am I? What am I made of? How did I come into being? How did I get here? Where do I go after I leave here? What is the source of my existence allowing me this world experience? What is my destiny? Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who is the real me? Real self arise. Ego got to go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. I got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll know. Got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Self-inquire. I call, 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 I call. I call on my supreme truth within. I call on my supreme truth within. I call on my supreme wisdom within. I call on my great supreme teacher within. I call on my great supreme intelligence within. I call on my great supreme wisdom within. I call, I call, I call, I call, I call, I call. I call, I call, I call, I call, I call, I call. I call on my great supreme teacher within. Rise. Real self arise. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Real self arise. Ego gotta go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. Got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll know. Got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who is the real me? Who am I? Self-inquiry. I seek my truth from within. I seek my truth from within. I seek my great supreme truth from within. I seek my great supreme teacher within. I seek my great supreme intelligence within. I seek my truth from within. I seek my great supreme wisdom within. I seek my truth from within. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? What am I made of? How did I get here? Where did I come from? How did I come into being? Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who is the real me? Real self arise. Ego got to go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. I've got to ask a question, that's the only way that I'll know. I've got to ask a question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who am I? Self-inquire. I trust my truth from within. I trust my great supreme truth within. I trust my great supreme wisdom within. I trust my great supreme intelligence within. I trust my inner wisdom. I trust my inner truth. I trust my inner supreme intelligence. I trust my inner supreme teacher. I practice discernment to be able to differentiate the real from the unreal, the self from the ego. I have to be awake, alert, attentive, and aware. Who am I? Who am I? Self-inquire. Who am I? I self-inquire. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Real self arise. Ego got to go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. I've got to ask a question, that's the only way that I'll know. Got to ask a question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Self-inquire. Self-inquire. You've got to ask yourself the great intelligence within. You've got to ask the great intelligence within. You've got to trust your great supreme wisdom within. You've got to trust your great supreme teacher within. Self-inquire to know your truth. Who am I? 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 I am Primal Light. Prepare for the world with the identity Auset. I am the daughter of the Self-Supreme, Primal Light. Thank you so much for joining me on Stillness and Self-Inquiry. Who am I? You must self-inquire to know. Who am I? What am I made of? See you in the next video.